All right. So let me know when you guys are all loaded up, spun up, and I'll walk you through this.
So at 30,000 feet, airspeed of 400 knots, you could have a range of 70 miles.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, the
So I took
harms?
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I took that chart that you gave me and I put a range table on it.
Oh, nice. Okay. So while you guys are getting spun up and loaded, I'll just kind of go over a few things. So right now, the only two modes we have in the 16 is HAS mode and RUC mode. RUC is range unknown. I forget what HAS means. HAS mode, basically, once you're in that, you have to be either being tracked or have some sort of a radar signature coming up at you from the SAM in order to use the harm. With range unknown, you don't need that. All you need is a waypoint that is within 120 degrees and I think 10 miles of a SAM that you want to kill. And you have to know what the SAM is. Is it a 10, an 11, a 6? What is it? And if you know that and you have a waypoint that's near it, as close as you can to it, then you can use range unknown mode. And it's really cool because that gives your harm a significant advantage in range. HAS mode, you have a lot less range because you got to get in there and get the radar hot on you before you can launch it. Did you guys get the knee board with the codes?
Affirm.
Sweet.
Yep.
So this Saturday we're going to be dealing with SA11s, so the 107 code and the 115 code, and there was another one I think, and then of course the shilkas, which is code 121. My plan was because we're gonna have harms on us as well. I figured I could change the table so that we have the shilka and both SA11 and the SD all in one table. And I'm going to show you guys how to do that here. Just let me know when you're ready to go and load it up. Alright, so I went ahead and spawned SA11 because that's what we'll be dealing with on Saturday. It's waypoint 7.
All right.
Copy. I'm ready to go.
Alright, so let's go ahead and we'll set this all up. So go ahead and start by going into air to ground mode. And on the right MFD, you're going to see the AGM88s. If you don't, cycle to it. All right, so on the right MFD, you'll have AGM88s, and below that is the power off button. We want to select that button to power them on. Did you guys get 4 88s?
Affirm.
Yep.
All right, so you should see at the bottom of the MFD on the left, you have Station 3, Station 4, Station 6, and Station 7 on the right. Those are all 4 of your AGMs. If you click your nose wheel steering button, you can cycle through those. So if you want to launch one of the ones on your right wing or left wing, you can select that. You guys see that?
Yep.
Copy.
Affirm.
All right, so let's go over to the left MFD, and we're going to change that one to the weapons page. Let me know when you're there.
On weapon.
Ricks, you got weapon?
Affirm.
All right, so at the top left, you'll see HAS, and that's the mode that we have the harms into. If you hit that, you can see the other modes that we have available. DL, there's nothing yet, but oh shoot, I went into DL because I was curious.
Oh shit.
Oh no, it's stuck.
Is it all screwed up?
Yeah, how do I get out? All right, well, anyway, up on the top left. Shoot. Stupid thing. There's no way to
Damn.
get out. 'Cause they don't have it. All right, well, did you guys go into DL?
I did.
I didn't.
You didn't.
No, it's broken.
Bricks, you got in? Gosh dang it.
It's broken.
It's
All
broken
right.
because it's not developed yet. Gosh dang it.
John, yep, that did it.
What'd you do?
Cycling the power on the harm will get the weapons
There it is. Yep, that did it. Sweet. Okay.
page back up.
Sorry about that. All right, so let's go back. We'll just stick with what I know. The stupid DL it's not developed yet. So, all right, so back at the weapons page, you see the HAS mode up there. We're going to stay in HAS. On the left side of the screen is what we have in table 1. So SA10, the Big Bird, clamshell, SA11, and Snowdrift radar, I believe is what it's called, SD. On Saturday, we'll be dealing with the 11 and the SD. If we go to the top, you'll see table 1. If you hit that button, it'll go to table 2, table 3. You only get 3 tables, 5 radars each. Table 2's got the 19, 15, and then table 3 has the SA3, 6, and 2 older SAMs. Next to that is wide. So wide search is going to go all the way right, all the way left, up, down. If you go to center, it's going to be a more narrow search for the radar, but it'll probably search a little faster. You can hit it again, and it'll only look left or only look right. I've actually never had a problem just using wide as long as I narrow my search. So to narrow your search, if we go to table 1, so we're going to, and let me know if I'm going too fast here. So if we go to table 1 on Saturday, we're going to narrow our search because we know there's not an SA10 out there. We know there's no Big Bird or clamshell. So we're going to hit search, and then we're going to deselect the 10, the Big Bird, and the clamshell. Once you have them deselected, you should only have the 11 and the SD highlighted. Hit HAS, and that takes us back to table 1, and you should only see 11 and SD on the left side.
Copy.
So you'll notice now, if I should have pointed it out before, the countdown, you should see a timer counting down right now. Before, when we had all 5, that thing was at like a minute and a half. Now we're down to about 20 seconds for a search. And what it does is it looks for an 11. If it sees it, obviously it'll pop it up. If it doesn't, then it goes to the next. But it searches the whole area for the SD, and then it goes to the next. And so you might end up sitting there inside the threat ring, and you still got a minute before it's going to find it. So you want to narrow down your search to just what you are looking for.
Copy.
If, for example, if you have, say, 3 things, so we wanted to add the shilka to this table, and we had 3 of these things, and maybe it's already gone down, like the counter's going down, and we're like at 10 seconds left, and we know that there's an 11 still up, we just caught that or something, we want to reset it, you can hit the RS button on the right and hit reset, and it'll actually start the scan from the very top. Let's start over. So for Saturday, what I was planning on doing is I was going to add the shilka because they're going to have a few of those around, or at least we think they will have them. Thunder kind of hinted at that. So if we go to search on table 1, all we have is the 10, the Big Bird, clamshell. You know, we want the A, because if you look at the knee board for the shilka, its RWR code is A, and that's not listed here. I think it's in table 2, but I want to have it
121.
Yeah, that's the code.
Okay.
Yeah, but the RWR code is A. You'll see the letter A on your RWR. That's what they're showing on the left-hand side there, the 11, SD, CS, BB. That's what you'll see on your RWR. So if we want to add the shilka to table 1, so that way we don't have to cycle between table 1 and table 2 to start a new search, let's go up to the, I forget what this console is in the middle, in the front, the numpad.
That's a scratch pad.
No. The with the numbers, the buttons, list, IFF, COM1, COF2.
ICP.
ICP, that's it. So on the ICP, hit list and select 0 for miscellaneous on the DED. You'll see on the DED after you hit miscellaneous, 0 is also harm. So hit 0 again. And then here you're going to see all the tables. Am I going too fast? You guys see that?
Nope. We're good.
No,
Raj.
just out of to make it faster too. Just FYI, if you're on the weapons page on the left-hand side, on the top right on the MFD, if you see UFC, you can click on UFC directly, and it'll take you right to it.
Oh, thanks. I didn't know that. Perfect.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
That's
Yep.
great. So now to cycle through the tables, you dauber down, or sorry, not dauber down is through the radars of that table. So cycle through the tables, use the waypoint button, up and down button, and that'll take you through the table. Table 1, Table 2, Table 3. And for this, we're going to go to Table 1, and we know that code 115 and 107 is the SA11 codes. So we're going to change, let's just change the first one. We don't want the SA10, we're not going to be looking for it on Saturday, so we'll change T1 to 121. So just hit 121 and hit enter. And now if you go back to your HAS search table, you should see the letter A at the very first option. And so now if we highlight that one and go back to HAS, now we'll have the Shilka, the 11, and the Snowdrift radar being searched for.
Perfect.
So in my testing with this, because I've been screwing around with it a lot, the Shilka does not, the harm doesn't see it until the thing starts pinging you. And if you go through, and I'll send you guys this, I have a SAM guide. And when you go down to the Shilka, it actually shows that it can't even grab something until about 2.5 miles out. So you're already right on top of it by the time the harm actually sees it. So this would be a great target for something like ruck mode. I know tonight I was just going to go over HAS, but would you guys like to touch ruck? It won't take long.
Sure.
I figure why not? I mean, at least some of us can launch ruck to see if it does anything.
Yeah. So ruck mode. So if you go up to HAS and hit HAS and change it to POS, position, and now you're in ruck mode. So ruck mode is range unknown. So range unknown is basically we tell the missile the waypoint that we want it to fly at or fly to, and it will loft. And you get a lot more range with this than with HAS mode. HAS mode, like I said before, you got to get locked on. You got to have that radar cooking you before you can launch, so it can guide it. And because it needs to, the harm has to keep its eye on the radar signature, it goes down. It does not loft because then it'll lose sight of the radar signature. So it's got to point directly at it so you don't get as much range. In ruck mode, you can actually loft the harm and it'll go way further. You get way more range. You can stay way outside the threat ring and launch this thing. So say we're doing the Shilka. We select that A at the top left there. And you'll see it right next to POS. You've got the button to change the tables as well, so you can change it and select whatever radar signature you're looking for. But in this case, we're trying to kill the Shilka. Go to the A, have that selected, and then on your HUD, you're now going to notice that you have a little bit more information here than in HAS mode. In HAS mode, you just have the little square at the bottom or rectangle at the bottom flashing, and that's all you have. Now on the right, you're going to have something similar to when you have the AIM-120s being used. You'll see a 40 and a line underneath it at the top.
Mm-hmm.
And then down below is a little bracket, and that's your range.
Just lost connection.
Oh, no.
No.
Ah, he's gone.
Oh, man.
Anyway, so when we're in the air, you'll have a little caret that's pointing just like you see in the AIM-120 for range when you know when you're within range to fire.
Yep.
When that carrot gets underneath the top of that bracket at the bottom there, and that bracket will change shape depending on how fast you're going and how high you are. When the carrot gets below that top line, you're within range, and that rectangle will start flashing. And at that point,
Yep.
you should be able to launch. If you want to get a little bit further into that bracket, that's probably a good idea. So you have, plenty of speed and range to get it there. And then you launch it. As soon as you launch it with ruck mode, the computer inside the harm already has the waypoint and everything it needs to get itself there. So it's a fire and forget at that point. Fire it, turn left, and get the heck out. And it'll fly itself there. Once it gets 20, I think from what I read, once it gets 20 miles out from the, not 20 miles, I think it's like 10 miles out. It gets to a specific range from the waypoint, it'll turn on its own radar and start looking for the radar signature that you told it to look for. So in this case, it was looking for the shilka. And so it'll start looking for shilkas. And as soon as it finds one, it'll guide itself on. All autonomous.
Awesome.
This would be great, but I gotta make sure Omen knows. I was telling Rix earlier, I've been testing ruck mode, and on the SA6s, it works perfectly. But on the SA10s and the SA11s, they have these antennas, and it looks like the harm is guiding to the antenna. I put it in slow motion, and it'll blow itself up like 10 or 20 feet in the air over the SAM and not hit the SAM every single time. On the SA6, they don't have antennas, and so it hits the SAM direct, no problem. I think it's
not doing the splash damage then.
No, I think it's a bug. And I went on the forums. There's a bunch of other people reporting the same thing, and they got screenshots of the harm like 20 feet above the target and blowing up in ruck mode and in has mode. So that might explain why I can't seem to get this to work in Iron Solace. I keep lobbing these things at the SA11, nothing happens. But I have no problem with the SA6. I think it's because these things are guiding like way above the target and then exploding midair. I don't know why.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because, I mean, DCS, when it comes to certain things, doesn't do a very good job of simulating damage anyways.
Yeah. Yeah, but
it's more of like generic hitboxes, so I wouldn't be surprised if it just isn't able to, it's just not close enough because, like you said, it's hitting the antenna.
That's my guess. But even so, like I've launched quite a few of these, and they never hit the target. They always airburst over the target, and I don't think that's the way the harm's supposed to work. But when I go to a SA6, it hits the target every time, and the SA6 doesn't have an antenna on it.
But wait a minute, it's homing in on the signal, and the signal would be coming out of the antenna, so it should be taking it out. But the thing is there should be damage to the antenna to take the sight down.
Probably.
Yeah.
It has to do
that
with
might be it.
The splash damage not being enough.
Probably.
And so it's just what's happening is, it's exploding, right?
Yeah.
But the game just doesn't recognize it, going, "Hey, that was really pretty, but you're not within the hitbox." So tough luck.
That might be it. I don't know. Either way, I've had absolute zero success with killing an SA11 or an SA10 with ruck or has like harms. I can't kill them, but I can kill a 6, no problem. So I don't even know if it would be a viable option for Saturday to use the harms, but maybe for the shilkas.
No, we killed the SA11.
Did you?
With has mode. Yeah, no, we took out the search radar.
Okay,
the
search radar, yes, but not the launchers. They got these giant if you look at the picture of these things, there's this big old antenna on it. Let's see if I can find it.
What I'm thinking is, what if we are flying, what might make a lot of sense is somebody still have the same loadout that we had the other night.
Yeah.
And then one person can, go full harms, right, and just launch on, the initial search radar and the shilkas, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and do ruck mode on the shilkas.
Yeah.
Right. Do has on the search, get that out and play some Wild Weasel. Get some of those missiles out just so there's less on the racks.
Yeah.
Fly back out, launch the rest of them ruck into for the shilkas, and then, you know, boom, the low and fast guy comes in and smashes them with because I mean that worked like super well.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's a great idea, dude. Plus, then you can the Wild Weasel can fire from way outside the threat ring if he's high and fast enough. Oh,
yeah, and he can still stay top cover, so he can deal with any planes coming in causing problems, because he can still run either 4 longs or 2 shorts, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree. I think this sounds like a great plan for Saturday.
Because we used it, we worked it.
Yeah.
It worked just fine. I mean, right now we can go in with the we can launch a bunch of them and just see what it does. You know what I mean? It might take two missiles to knock something out.
Probably.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so we can. I mean, that's what we have. A total of 12 missiles. Well, the first guy will launch all 4. You know what I mean? We can even have one guy going in and out of the threat ring and just kind of give it some, get those launches, get those radars going. If you knock out the search radar right away, then we'll just change, after the first launch, we can change to ruck mode, and then just, one person launches and then hovers for a little bit, then the next person launches, and we'll just kind of see what it does.
I think it's a good idea, yeah. Okay. So another benefit to ruck is in HAS mode, after you launch, you lose lock, because that lock was for that missile, and so you lose it as soon as it as soon as it's off the rail. And then you have to connect to the next missile. The computer switches over to the next station, and then you have to wait for that missile to find the signature as well before you can launch it again. Ruck mode, because all you're doing is you are transferring the data to the missile, it's not transferring it to you. It's the other way around. You can literally pick a waypoint and just lob 4 of them all in 1 second, just boom, 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 and then fly away. But I don't know how accurate that would be, because they'll probably all lock onto the same one. And if you want to scatter it so it's locking onto different things, you probably want to stagger the launches, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 seconds out from each other, so that they, once one takes out one, then the other one has a few seconds to find something else. But the benefit is that you don't have to wait so long like you do in HAS mode to let it find it again. You just launch as many as you want, as fast as you want.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got mine powered back on. I'm ready to rock and roll if you guys want to head to...
Yeah, let's go.
Do the magic.
Yeah, let's go. There's no one else on the server, so let's just taxi on out. All right. Runner up. All right, brakes. Brakes. 3, 2, 1. Brakes off. I'm just going to stick with mill. So we got a ways to go. Alright, so if you go to POS and ruck, there's something I wanted to show you guys. Rick's, I'll just describe it. So you'll have the green line, and everything below the green line is something that is being programmed or waiting to be released. After it's been released, it'll go above the green line, and it's you can't control it anymore. So if you have, I think you were going to go to SD, right, Omen? Or do you want to hit the 11?
I was going to do the 11, but if you guys want me to hit SD, I'll...
That's fine.
SD.
No, training doesn't matter. So the 11 you'll see is highlighted, and then you'll see 11 highlighted underneath the green line, and then underneath that is actually the number waypoint that it's going to. So you want to make sure that it shows 7.
Copy. I got 7.
And then on your HUD, I don't see a caret yet, and it's probably because we were so far away. We're like 60 miles out. All right, so once that caret gets underneath the top of the bracket, you're within range. You can fire and forget. And you can fire all 4 of them right right then and there if you want, but they'll probably all guide to the same target. So we can probably just stagger them.
So I'll do the 11 and then switch to the SD and fire on it, if you guys don't mind. Or
Yeah.
Sure.
I think I'll do the same. Or I'll do 11 and then I'll go for a shilka. I don't know if there are any out there, but
copy. So when I fire, I'm gonna go ahead and brake left. So I'm within the launch zone right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and Magnum right now. Magnum 1 is away. Switching to SD. And Magnum. And that one lofted. That's kind of interesting. The other one didn't. Alright. Actually, you know what? I'll go ahead and... Alright, I got a launch from the 11. I'm going to evasive.
yeah, I got a launch too.
Lots of missiles out.
Holy cow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 missiles.
Got plenty of hills.
Yeah, we'll be alright. I'm breaking around. I'm going to come around for another shot.
One of the bucks is down.
Yeah, notice we launched 4 and 1 is down. This is what I was experiencing. So I mean, it'll work if you get a bunch on there, but it shouldn't be that difficult.
It's too many.
Yeah, it shouldn't be that low of a success rate. How many millions of dollars is a harm? The Air Force would never buy them if they're that crappy. I got Nails SA11.
Magnum. Going defensive.
Coming back around. Looks like Omen is as well.
Coming back into the threat ring. I'm at 30,000. I'm going to go ahead and switch to HAS mode.
How you doing, Rix?
Good. I'm on the ground.
Alright, I'm switching to HAS as well.
I'm going to go ahead and switch to SD and 11. Alright, come back around. Just to see if we see any difference there.
I'm dropping center line.
Copy, center line is gone.
Nails 11.
8, yep. I got lock and firing
Going
Magnum
defensive.
1. Looks like missiles out, missiles out. See another 11T. I'm going to lock onto it.
So,
Magnum.
Another thing I didn't mention, 11A, 11T, SDA, SDT. Alpha is active. Tango means it's tracking you. So T is a good time to launch a harm. A, you can launch it, but it's better in HAS mode if you have a T.
I'm doing a little bit of cheating. I'm watching the missile.
No,
So
yeah.
I've got 11. So I got 11A.
So it's active, but it's not tracking you yet. As soon as you get a T,
Yep.
it means it's got you. And a missile's probably on its way or will be shortly.
So it looks like it's going into. Nope, landed short.
Yeah,
Both
see?
of them landed short.
Yeah. This has been what I've been seeing. It just doesn't seem right. And a lot of them go, from what I've experienced, especially in ruck mode, is it goes to the antenna.
Yeah, that was. I think we really need to concentrate on the dog ear, and then come in with the right ordnance to knock it out. There's just no way to use all harms. That was totally ineffective.
Yeah.
About 80% of the harms ended up hitting the ground.
Now, what? Does anyone have any harms left?
I've got one.
Okay, hang on. Don't use it. Don't use it.
I got 2.
All right, don't use it. Hang on. Okay. Waypoint 7 is an SA6 now. Use HAS mode or ruck mode, doesn't matter, and point at the SA6, or Ricks, and try and hit the SA6. I have had really good success with the 6.
Unfortunately, I'm having navigation errors with my 109.
You can do HAS mode, right?
Well, the problem is I don't know where waypoint 7 is.
You're right over it. Yeah, you're over it.
You're right on it.
I am.
Yeah. I'd fly away. Here, I'll guide you. Hang on. Let me get a.
I don't think my alignment worked very well.
That's all right. I'll guide you. All right. So, I can't guide you because your alignment's off. All right. So it should be at your 5 o'clock ish.
Hold on. I'll.
If I'm that close, I should actually be able to find it on my radar warning.
Yeah, do this, Rix.
He's tracking me.
Go ahead and fly due east. Just keep your current course. Current course. What does it say? What heading you're taking right now?
So I'm taking a heading of east.
Okay, keep going. You're in HAS mode, right? With only the 6 selected?
Yep.
Okay. And go ahead and make an exact 180. And then it should be about 12 nautical miles from you if you do a 180 right now.
All right.
Just be careful because you're like right near the threat ring.
Yeah, you're going to have to be ready to launch here.
So as soon as you see that 6 pop up on the HAS mode, target it and then launch right away.
Got it.
Yeah, go Magnum as soon as you can.
Hopefully I'm
you're
pointed in the right direction.
You are.
Because
you're heading right toward.
Need to go left.
I'm going to go wide on my search.
Oh yeah, you need wide. Go left.
I can't depend on. All right.
There you go. There you go. Do you see it?
Still nothing. Yeah, I got it.
Lock it and launch it. You're gonna have a missile here soon. There you go. All right, get out of there. Get out of there. All right, now watch. Let's see if we can watch it. All right, I'm watching it. Watch this thing hit it, no problem.
The 11 is still there.
Yeah.
And search radar is gone.
No problem. You see?
Awesome.
SA6, we don't have a problem. It's something about the 10 and the 11. I can't hit a 10 or 11 with a harm. I mean, sometimes I get lucky, like Omen earlier, he did some damage, but it didn't take it out. It's probably because it hit right before it or above it. But a 6, I'm always hitting 6s, no problem. So I don't know if that's pilot error or if it's a bug in the game.
That's a bug.
I think it's a bug.
Pilot error.
because I don't have any problems killing 6s with harms.
What do you guys think about maybe hitting the site first before using harms?
Yeah.
See, the thing is about with the 97s, it's not a guaranteed kill, so you don't, you know what I mean? And it might be nice, it might be wiser to see what's left.
Yeah, it's not a guaranteed kill, but it's a heck of a lot more effective than the harm. Right now, at least. On the 11.
Well, we're dropping 6 of them too. I mean, so this, it should. All right, guys, I don't see, I'm not getting tracked, and I think I'm actually probably going right over the site.
Yeah, you are. You're going right over
Getting close.
Guess we can run some gun runs on it.
I can land at Creech, get some CBUs.